Well, we are experiencing a little rain, and what we're going to do, Jared's going to go ahead and beef up this dump wagon. The other one broke the other day, and this one is the same age, same kind, same everything. Hauled about the same amount of loads. Maybe it's hauled more loads, I don't know. But he's gonna go ahead and fix this one because you know what's gonna happen. If we wait till the end of the season, it'll end up breaking before that, and then it'll end up wrecking something. So as long as it's raining, that's what we're gonna work on right now. And we've got a couple other odds and ends to do. And we'll just keep on keeping on here. Well, Jared has the tire removed, and we've got the spindle and the hub assembly pulled out of this bracket here, or this wheel end, and he'll go ahead and get this off of here. Clean all of this up, re-weld it, put a gusset in there like he did with the other one. Now this spindle ended up coming right out of this assembly just like the other one did. We were lucky that that wasn't seized up. The reason why we took it out, it just made it easier to be able to get this on the bench and work with it. Now I had somebody comment when we were taking the last assembly apart, and what we did is we wrapped a log chain on here, and when this was broke off of this bracket, and we just put a log chain through here, and I pulled the assembly out from underneath the wagon with the chopper, and I had somebody comment, oh, that's got to be great for the actual wheel bearings or the hub bearing. Well, the hub bearing is up here, and this was hooked to the tire, and the bracket was bolted to there, so there wasn't any way that any dirt could have got into the seal end of the actual hub. So we're kind of showing a little bit more of this than we need to, but we just have to explain to some people that, you know, there isn't any way for mud to have gotten in there while we were dragging it across the ground when we took the other one apart. So he'll get this unbolted, like I said. I'm repeating myself, and he'll weld that up, bolt it back on, put everything back together, and then this will be good to go. Well, Jared's got this one all gusseted up, and it is back together along with some paint. So that should stiffen that up. Maybe the factory has changed these since this series or whatever, but that should stiffen that up a lot. So we'll get the spindle in there. They're going to put some anti-seize on this and slide it back in. Well, we ended up getting too much rain to even try chopping today. We worked on some odds and ends in the shop, and I figured I would take you out and show you the new barn addition, which is right next door. But I thought I would show you all of the rubber that we have ready to go into the new barn. We have this throughout all of our alleyways where the cows walk, and what it is used conveyor belting. This rubber is 1 inch thick. On the other side they have a grooves cut into it so that it gives the cow's feet traction on it, and then it provides a softer cushioned area for the cows to walk on, opposed to walking on hard concrete. Like I said, we have that throughout all of our alleyways. When we originally built this barn here, we only had rubber on half of the feed alley, and then we ended up later on putting rubber in the stall sections and on the other side of the feed alley as well. So we'll go ahead and take a peek at the barn addition. The sun is starting to go down. I don't know what the lighting is going to be inside there, but we'll go ahead and take a walk through the barn addition. Well, we'll try to do the best we can here with this little bit of time that we have to do a quick walkthrough of this barn addition. The sun has gone down, the lighting isn't all that great, and I really don't know how much you're going to be able to see until I edit this video, but they've got a majority of the concrete work done. They've got some curbs left yet to pour, and they've got the pads for the crossovers left to pour as well. They poured the feed alley here, like 4 or 5 days ago. They've got tile on the feed alley, in the feed alley. We've got that throughout all our barns. And then once they get done with all of the concrete work here, they can start putting stalls in, hanging gates, and putting headlocks up. So here is a crossover here. They've got some of that already poured. Looks like they maybe poured just what they could with the amount of concrete that they had. And that'll give you an idea of what that looks like. Every crossover we have a like 12 or 14 foot waterers that'll go right there, and then there's going to be a waterer on each crossover. So that'll give you an idea of what this looks like. And we'll try to get back in here to do another video at some point, but I figured I would take this opportunity as long as we weren't chopping corn here. Usually by the time I get home it's dark, and or I'm wanting to get going in the morning and there really isn't time to come up and video anything before we get chopping in the morning. So I hope the lighting was enough to give you guys an idea of what the project looks like here. Well, we are getting ready to start the day here. Yesterday I brought a big compressor over here because we've got a few days left on this farm. We're just pumping some fuel in now. And I noticed that the fuel filter, the canister style fuel filter, is about full of fuel. And that means that our filter is needing change. So we've got 2 canister style filters that we're going to go ahead, we're going to pop them off, and then we'll pop that canister filter out. We'll do that while we've got fuel going in, and then we'll get the knives sharpened, get the windows cleaned up, and we will start in. We should have a real good day today. Yesterday we used dump wagons until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we were able to load direct. So we'll get after changing these filters. I've got a strap wrench here somewhere. We'll use that to get these canisters off, and then we've got a spanner wrench for the gland nut that holds that canister or cartridge filter in. Well, we have powered the system, and we've got fuel up into there. And then this generally is where it'll run until the filter gets used up. And then as the filter gets used up, it'll start filling this canister. And once the canisters get full, that's when they need changed. Well, we have done a couple of power cycles with the key. Now we'll go ahead and start it. It's going to cough. It's going to run a little hard for a second. It's going to quit. We'll repower the system, pump the fuel up, hit it again. This process will take a couple, 2-3 times, unless I can get the throttle up into high idle, then it will maybe start and stay going. Started right up, so we're just gonna let that run. Actually, I was gonna leave it high idle for a while, but we'll let it idle down. I'll come into here, and we'll go ahead and run a quick pass with a sharpening stone over the knives, and then what I'm gonna do is hose this down. When I blew this off here last night, a lot of stuff got on the windows. We'll have to rinse that off with some water here first. Well, we've got the first load of the day just about loaded, and that is on Zach's diller trailer here. And we have Zach up next with his Moss 36-foot trailer that he is pulling with his R model Mac. So we've got a little bit left in this field, and then we will move over into a field that we were chopping the other night in the rain, and that's pretty slimy and greasy. in that field. We might have to hold off till later on to do that one. We've got a couple other ones that we can do before we get into chopping that field. But this is the same color scheme as the red trailer that we have, but this one's a 36 footer. So we'll keep on keeping on here, and we'll have to see what the day gets done for us here. Well, we got done with that field that we were on just a moment ago. Now we are heading to the field where Tim ended up putting the Aulick trailer in the ditch here last year. So this driveway is right up here. A couple of days after it happened, we ended up making the driveway a little wider. So we've got Tim 2 trucks back behind us here, and hopefully he doesn't get nervous pulling in here, but that's where the Aulick trailer went in last year, right there. So we'll go ahead and get things opened up here, and then we'll keep on keeping on. Well, we are getting done here. This was real muddy, and we didn't end up with any trailers in the ditch here. So we're gonna go ahead and move to the next field. We've got Andrew out of school. He's with us here, and we've got a pile of trucks that are all waiting to get loaded here. We had to clean up the field, and it allowed the trucks to all catch up to us here. So we'll get over to the other field. The field that we're going to next, we chopped the other night in the rain, and I'm afraid it's going to be a little greasy to start with, but it might just be all right by now.